for another royal and royal adjacent fashion edition. Earthshot had some amazing looks. Prince William really upped his game while in South Africa for it. But let's start with some more giant man pants from the Meg, some more GMPs. That's right, they haven't gone anywhere. With enough fabric involved to make 2 or more normal-sized trousers, she hiked those babies all the way up to the boobs during her visit to Girls Inc. not too long ago. If you missed that video and the weird visit that she did, I will link it for you up here. But before we get into that, I'm Beebs Kelley. I would like to invite you to subscribe if you have not yet already. Click the like button and leave a comment if you would like to. If you don't know what to comment, just say giant man pants or GMPs. So let's get into our look for this visit to Girls Inc. Let's start with the positives. Belt and shoes look to be a close enough match to get a pass. That's good. The outfit is modest and fairly appropriate for the occasion, although she does have it unbuttoned quite low. If you look at this picture here, for example, you can see that the first button that's closed is actually down here on her bust line. It's low on the bust line. Typically, if you're going to be around a bunch of kids or the elderly, or just, you're not going to a normal adult thing, you're doing something professional, you would want your first fastened button to be above the boob. So she did unbutton it gratuitously. You want to really focus and cater your outfit to child-oriented stuff. It needs to be something that you can move in, to get down and be involved in whatever activities are going on, whether it's sitting on the floor with the children or walking around outside or playing games or anything like that. You need to be able to move. So automatically things like sneakers and flats, loafers, comfortable shoes without a heel, even boots sometimes will be okay. Things that you can actually move around in adequately and feel comfortable and confident and not lose your footing while doing activities or active things is going to be required or obviously make more sense. Things that are modest, so no high slits, short shorts or short skirts or hemlines. You want to have no exposed back or cutouts or really deep cleavage or necklines that are really low, because then, it's not exactly appropriate to be around kids. And you also don't want to be overdressed. That's a situation where being overdressed is going to be a lot more noticeable. It's going to stand out a lot more. The other key to dressing for these sorts of events is to keep it oriented towards some sort of conversation piece and invitation for the kids, which we're going to circle back to in a moment. But little things like cute earrings or maybe a friendship bracelet or just something kind of cute and interesting that has maybe a recognizable character, or like ladybug earrings or a butterfly necklace, little things like that will perhaps catch the eye of a child. Or brighter colors, some sort of fun, bright primary color, sometimes even something that has maybe a little bit of texture to it that a kid would like and be drawn to or find more inviting. It just automatically makes you seem a little bit more approachable to children because you look like you're a little bit more fun. You essentially create a space through your presentation where they feel invited to talk to you. And so having that element of playfulness or fun, a little bit of whimsy to your outfit is really important when you're dealing with kids. Lastly, styling wise, not too much other jewelry, not too much fussiness when it comes to the hairstyles. Up and away from the face is important so they can really see your face and connect with you and access your eyes and your line of sight, because maybe, they're hanging out in your peripherals and waiting for you to see them. And if your hair is in your face and hiding you, then they can't really make that eye contact with you. You are blocking that line of sight, kind of closing yourself off a little bit, as well as makeup. You don't want to be too overdone for these sorts of occasions. We've seen lots of really, really great examples of that from Catherine, the Princess of Wales. So let's compare and see how Meghan did in this context. As we know, she struggles a lot of the time to dress appropriately for the occasion. We've seen her wear backless things with slits, things that are ill-fitting and overdressed to schools many a time. Things that look more businesslike and less approachable, less friendly to children. Now, of course, you don't have to completely change your aesthetic just because you're going to go hang out with kids. At the same time, just simply being famous or infamous, however you want to look at it, as Meghan, doesn't oblige her to participate in children's activities at all. And so if she's going to go out of her way to be involved with children's in any way, shape, or form, then she should dress for that occasion. So at first glance, trousers and a blouse or shirt like this seem like fine options. Pants, trousers, and jeans are always going to be solid choices if you don't want to do like a day dress or sundress that's more of a midi to maxi length. If you don't want to go for a dress, then this is pretty much what you're left with. Alternatives that would have also been perfectly acceptable: a t-shirt or hoodie or some sort of sweatshirt from the organization itself. That's always a sign of support and allows for that branding, for that organization to be showcased and front and center in all the pictures that get released. It's the same argument for her wearing Invictus gear when she attends Invictus alongside Harry. She never wears any Invictus branded like shirts or hats or coats or anything. She's never wearing anything Invictus. But if she would, it would be really, really nice. It would be a nice gesture. It would be nice for the branding. It would show up more in the pictures. It's invaluable to organizations to have people actually wearing your branded stuff out in pictures, because those pictures will forever have that branding on it. So it's a really nice gesture to do. So that would have been a great alternative. The color scheme she chose here is okay. A lot of people really don't like blue with browns, especially these really warm browns. I think it's okay. I think it's fine. It doesn't look perfect, but it's okay. Another positive we have here is the hemline of the trousers. Look, they're not puddling up on the ground like we've previously seen. It's amazing. They are the correct length. Now, wide leg trousers, wide leg pants are always going to have a lot more fabric involved, obviously, to where they can run the risk of looking like they're a touch too long at some angles. But still, ultimately, anytime they are bunching on the ground, folding up on the ground, puddling in any sort of way, shape, or form, it's very, very obvious they haven't been hemmed. These hovering above the ground is exactly where they should be. On the other hand, they are very wrinkled, as you can see. So unfortunately, they were not a good choice of fabric, even though they seem to fit her okay and they are hemmed properly. It's a miracle. We still have the wrinkles. So many wrinkles. They're so wrinkly. The more I look at it, the more wrinkles I see. For some reason, there's even wrinkles like 5-6 inches below her knee. How is that wrinkled there? What is happening? This particular style of GMPs has the pleating across the waistband. Now, that's not always the most flattering for everybody's body, because it's going to add a little bit more fabric volume there and whatnot. She is quite thin, but she has that wider torso where she lacks the well-defined waist. She obviously was trying to create the illusion of more of a waistline here through this approach, because the shirt is billowing just a tad out from on top of the belt and the pants, the trousers, have the pleats. It's allowing the belted area to look like it's reined in more at a well-defined waist, with the fabric creating that volume away from it. It's okay. It's not really working that great, but it's an attempt. Ultimately, the wrinkles are so loud and noisy, it's cluttering up the look a lot. So I think that this proves that jeans, straight leg jeans, would have probably been a better option for this, because jeans just don't wrinkle like this. Trousers in a darker color would have been a fine alternative, or just a heavier weight trouser, but ultimately I think jeans would have been a perfect option. Jeans and some trainers, some sneakers would have been just fine for this. As for her hairstyle, I think it would have been really nice to see half up or a ponytail. We've seen her in a ponytail a few times lately, and I think it would have just been a better approach, not only for opening herself up to the audience of children, but also because she has this collar here that's in a different color than the rest of the shirt. It's kind of a loud collar. It's stiff, it's bulkier, it's heavier. So having the hair down around here is adding more heaviness to this area. It's looking just a little cluttered. The outfit overall has potential. no denying that, but the execution could definitely be improved. For example, the shirt having the messy sleeve roll that's also resting right at her waist is also adding visual weight to the area, creating a boxy silhouette, kind of combating the attempt that she made with the belt and the billowing of the fabric bordering the belt, because any sort of illusion of a waist that she created with that approach on her torso, she erased it by placing big, messy, bulky sleeve rolls right in that area as well. So sort of ruining or negating the attempt here that she did with the sleeve roll. The messy sleeve roll is something that she does to try to tighten up and roll up the sleeve. But elbow length sleeves are a thing. You can find tops with elbow length sleeves. It's possible. It's not easy because they aren't as common as just long or short sleeves, but you can find elbow length sleeves or 3/4 sleeves. It would have been a much more complimentary option for her body type to find a slim fit sweater or polo style top with elbow length sleeves that was not too tight, just slim fit, normal. Would have been a much better option for her body type than this top. The shirt's also a little bit stiff. The collar is really a lot for her shorter neck. It almost looks a little bit too office or businessy for this event as well. Like, it's not comfortable. She doesn't look particularly comfortable in these clothes. So keeping the trousers, if she must, or swapping them to straight leg jeans and switching to a sweater, a jumper, or a polo style top would have helped make her seem more comfortable and more suitable to the event, because dressing in this sort of way where you look like you're going to a meeting when you're going to go hang out with kids isn't always going to look the best in pictures. And once again, she chose to publicize this, chose to release the pictures, so you'd think some thought would be put into how those pictures will come out. If I were styling the Meg for this particular event, she would have worn mid-rise straight leg jeans, some trainers like these ones, no belt, and either one of these red Girls Inc. shirts or a simple jumper or sweater like this one or this one or this one. I would have suggested she wear her hair in a ponytail and advised her to skip the jewelry, just a wedding band only, for example. Maybe some bright earrings, like I said, something like butterflies, ladybugs, I don't know, anything like that that can catch the eye of the children and give her a more friendly and approachable appearance would have really finished up the look nicely. That's what I would have suggested. Next, let's take a look at one of her only official appearances so far this fall. Catherine, the Princess of Wales, joined Prince William to visit Southport to spend time with the families of the victims as well as the first responders from that day. While her outfit was far from the focus of this outing, it was definitely a great choice for the occasion. Her brown coat is tailored absolutely perfectly. It doesn't smother her figure or feel overwhelming to her because she chooses coats that are tailored really well and that fit her well. One thing you'll notice with Catherine's coats is the shoulder seams are always in the right spot. When your shoulder seams are hanging off and too wide for you, it immediately looks bulky on you. When the arms have too much room, which hers do not, when the arms have too much room, it clutters everything. It clutters the entire area, it clouds your waistline, things like that. It makes it look like you're swimming in it. And when you're trying to hold things or handbags or, just a shot of your hands, and your hands are like being eaten by your sleeves, it just looks less polished overall. You'll also notice that, of course, the coats are always tailored really nicely to where they do nip in at the waist, still highlighting that asset you might as well, but it also just helps it to look more neat, tidy, polished, put together, really, really nice. So this not smothering her figure is a perfect example of how to wear a coat properly. The burgundy dress with the polka dots peeking out remained modest while offering a feminine touch with the bow and the pattern, a little bit of lightness to it, but it's still, her color scheme for this day was a darker color, which makes sense for the unfortunate and more somber reason behind the occasion. Her outfit also matched Prince William's sweater, which lent itself really nicely to a polished look as a pair, that continuity, and just nicer pictures come when you don't clash. We've seen a lot of times Harry and Meghan, despite all their hand-holding, their outfits oftentimes do clash. And so you can just see the comparison here. One couple does look more polished and more in sync without having to be clingy about it, while the other looks a little out of sync simply by the outfit's not meshing well together. So it is a thing to pay attention to some of the time. Most importantly, though, it was really nice to see her out. It was lovely to see her looking well and stepping back in at her own pace. So she looked really, really great, and it was nice to see her there. Thank you so much for joining me for today's fashion edition. I will see you next time. Have a happy day, everybody. Bye.